Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So, I told a story time the other day about my girlfriend and how she had a little bit of a crazy dad, and it got me thinking about, just story times I've told in the past and things that I've talked about on this channel. And there was one thing in specific, and it's a really good one, and it's probably one of my craziest. So, I hope you enjoy this. Definitely leave a like on the video if you do, and let's get into it. So, today's story time all takes place back in 2018. I had just moved back from LA to New York. So, I was back in New York. I just got my apartment here and I was just chilling. I was enjoying life. Things were good. I was single, wasn't really dating anybody, just chilling, having a single life. And about like a month into living back in New York, I went out with some friends to a club. I don't usually go out to clubs. It's not really my thing, but my friends invited me out and I hadn't seen them in a while since I'd been living in LA for like 2 years or just under 2 years or something. So I want to go see my friends. So I went out with them. And to my surprise, I met a girl while I was at the club who seemed pretty cool, and we exchanged numbers. And within like the next month, we'd started talking a lot and hanging out a lot. And before we knew it, we were pretty much dating. I mean, we were not calling ourselves girlfriend and boyfriend, but we were definitely like going on dates, sleeping at each other's houses, hanging out, met each other's parents, like very, girlfriend boyfriend type shit. So I just decided, I'm like, you know what? We're basically girlfriend and boyfriend. I may as well ask her. So one day I texted her and I was like, hey, can we just like call ourselves girlfriend and boyfriend? And she was like, I would love that. I've been waiting for you to ask me. So yeah, she became my like actual official girlfriend and things were really good. I mean, honestly, this story time is not about how this girl was like some psycho and we broke up. Like, this is not one of those stories. So fast forward like 2 months later, at this point we've been dating for a while. Things were getting more and more serious. Things were going good. And she brings up the idea of meeting her dad. Now, I had already met her stepdad and her mom. I'd met like her actual like parents she grew up with. But I guess her dad and her didn't really have like a good relationship and they didn't meet until later on in life. I think it was like a few years prior to this. So her relationship with her dad wasn't very close, but she was getting closer with him and she wanted him to know her boyfriend. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, why not? Like, I would love to. And she was like, cool. We're going to have dinner together if that's okay. We can do it this Friday. And I'm like, sounds good. And she was like, just so you know, I have to warn you, he's got some issues. And I was like, what kind of issues? What do you mean? She was like, he had some trouble back in the day with the law. Like, he's been in and out of jail before. He's definitely, a troubled man. And I was like, that's fine. Like, doesn't matter to me. And she's like, okay, I just want to let you know. Like, if he brings up anything about jail, like, don't be surprised. I'm like, okay. Can I ask, like, what he did? And she was like, well, he used to sell drugs. He used to do this. He got in trouble for this. Like, she just starts naming stuff, right? Like, clearly he had been in trouble a couple times. Well, fast forward to dinner. He was a really cool dude. Like, everything he was saying, just his personality, he seemed really, really funny and just like a really cool dude who, used to have a lot of problems, but nowadays is like, I don't know, like reformed. I don't know, like just very, very like cool guy. I don't know how else to explain it. But I guess I jumped the gun a little bit and I thought he was a little too cool, too quick, because a week later, something happened that I did not expect. All right. So like I said, I met him at the dinner. Things were good. We actually exchanged numbers and, he was like, oh, take good care of my daughter. Like, she really, really likes you. And we said we'd keep in touch. Right. Well, a week later, I get a text message from her dad and it just says, hey. And I was like, okay, like maybe he's just checking in. So I replied, I'm like, what's up, man? And he's like, I got a question for you. I'm like, for sure. And he sends me a text that no girlfriend's father should send. He sends me this text, and the text message reads, wanna buy some pill emoji, which obviously means wanna buy some drugs. And I was like, that has to be a joke, right? Like, he's testing me. So I didn't know what to reply with, and this whole situation was just so weird to me. So I just replied with LOL because I felt like that was a safe reply, because I figured he was joking. And he replies again and goes, what do you do? And I'm assuming he was asking me what kind of like drugs that I liked. So I replied and I was like, nothing, LOL. And then he calls me and I answer and I was like, what's up? And once again, I still thought at this point he was kidding. But after this phone call, he wasn't. So I said, what's up? And he's like, hey man, like, you see my text? And I was like, yeah, I responded. You saw it. He's like, yeah, so like, what do you do? And I was like, are you not joking right now? He's like, no, like, I got stuff. Like, what do you like? And I was like, you're serious? He goes, yeah. I'm like, do you not realize how fucked up this sounds? Like, you are my girlfriend's father trying to sell her boyfriend drugs. Like, don't you think that's pretty bad if your daughter's boyfriend was doing drugs? Like, wouldn't you want her to not date somebody that does that? And he was like, well, it doesn't have to be anything serious, you know? Like, I got weed, I got shrooms. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think so. And he was like, okay, well, let me know. And then he just hangs up. Now, immediately, I have two choices. I either ignore it and I go about my day and just, not say anything and forget that it ever happened. Or two, tell my girlfriend about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to tell her. Because, like, she even told me herself he had some issues and she wasn't the closest with him all her life. So, like, she probably won't take it as a surprise, but I still want her to know. I don't want to keep secrets from my girlfriend, right? Especially about her family. So I texted her and I told her, and, no surprise, she responded, like, completely understanding about it and was just like, he's embarrassing, ignore him. But the way she responded almost sounded like it wasn't the first time he did something, like, of this magnitude. So I asked her, I was like, has he done shit like this in the past? And she's like, yeah, with my ex, I introduced him to my dad, and within like a week, he was trying to get him to do shrooms with him. And I'm like, oh, okay. And like, that's not great, but still, I feel like what happened to me is a little bit worse, because he literally replied with the pill emoji. So like, that could mean anything. I even asked her about it. I was like, what does he sell? Like, is it stuff that's like pretty dangerous? And she was like, literally everything you could think of. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yep. And I'm like, damn. So I probably could have replied to his text and said the worst drug known to man, and he might have had it and sold it to me, which is really fucked up if you think about it. So, yeah, I learned a valuable lesson on this day. My girlfriend was very much telling the truth when she said that her dad had a lot of problems, and it was definitely a first time for me to ever meet a girlfriend's parent and have him offer me hard drugs. So, yeah, moral of the story is, guys, don't do drugs. And if someone close to you tries to sell them to you, say no. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time. After that, me and my girlfriend kind of just stayed away from him for the remainder of our relationship. And unfortunately, me and her broke up about a few months later for some very unrelated, not interesting bullshit. It was definitely just some like petty, high schooler level kind of like stuff. You know what I mean? Definitely not story worthy. But yeah, I haven't seen him since. Hopefully he's cleaned up his act a bit and he's doing better, but I don't know. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.
Babe, you gon' lay down. I'll be in LA. I'll be on my way.